Mom said that my hairstyle makes me look like I'm a hippie. So I put on one of her shirts from the 70s and these kind of 70s sunglasses. Do you think I could pass for someone in the 70s? Kind of makes sense because I'm reviewing a book that was published, I think, in 1976, Peace Child by Don Richardson. Peace Child is about a missionary couple that goes to serve the Sawi people in what used to be the Dutch New Guinea and then became Irian Jaya, and it could be something else for all I know. It's in Indonesia. This is the first missionary book I've come across that I think would be rated R. The first few chapters where it's just introducing you to the Sawi people and how they value treachery. About wow, that was shocking. I mean, I've read cannibalism a lot this year, which sounds really disturbing. The way that the book just submerges you in this treacherous, frightening culture and then takes you out of it and says, okay, here's this missionary, and he's gonna go with his wife and little baby, and they're gonna go and live here. You just can't help instinctively being like, no, 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 don't do it. They're gonna kill you. They're gonna eat you. They're gonna like scramble your brains. There was a lot to get excited about in this book. A lot of the stuff about language development, develop the alphabet and the different tenses, and I was like, wow, I thought Spanish was hard to learn. But yes, a little part of me got really excited every time they talked about something that I understood that was nerdy and Englishy. One of the main focuses of the book is on redemptive analogies and how Richardson uses the Sawi's own culture to teach them about the Bible and help them relate to things that happened thousands of years ago that they don't really know about. And when he first starts talking about it, they're like, why should we care? And oh, it just totally blew me away that when they first heard the story about Judas, they thought that Judas was the hero of the story because he betrays Christ. And I was like, what? I think Richardson wanted people to think outside of the parameters of this is my culture, this is the way we think, the way I've been taught, and this is the way I'm going to regurgitate it to these people. He learns about them and their culture and what they've been practicing, what they've believed, so that he can adapt it because he knows that somewhere in there, God, in his providence, has planted something that he can use. Framework was put in here, even unbeknownst to the people themselves, that they might be receptive to the gospel sometime later. It just helps you remember that there's a point to everything. One thing that did disappoint me about this, and it wasn't anything about the book at all, this book was full of typos and they were glaringly obvious. It reflects badly on the publisher, and I just wish that people would get their act together and stop leaving typos in books because it's embarrassing. We live in the 21st century. We shouldn't have typos anymore. Ugh. I happened to read this book simultaneously with another book, which was fiction, which I didn't enjoy as much as I'd hoped to. I was really impressed with how much more dramatic importance the nonfiction book had because the characters were real. I think the highs are higher and the lows are lower. There is greater gravity in reading something that really happened. S, where you've got people bickering in the margins about whether this fictional person is actually this fictional person, all of these things about identity and conspiracy. It just wasn't important. It was like, all this stuff is fake. It doesn't even matter. Like, all of these names and details just came out of someone's head. One person's head, and they have no effect on my life. I've tried to incorporate more nonfiction this year, and I think it really has been a benefit. So yes, more of that, please.